大家好，今天我们在欧菲集团嘉兴新工厂的开幕仪式上，一会儿呢，我们会和 UFI 集团董事长 Giorgio Girondi 先生以及 UFI 集团亚太区执行董事兼首席运营官 Simone Trazzi 先生有一个对话。UFI 集团成立于1971年，是全球过滤系统和热管理技术的引领者，业务范围覆盖了汽车、航空航天、航海运载、专业化工领域以及定制液压机械设备领域。UFI 集团呢以创新闻名，其产品和技术广泛应用于各种运载工具，覆盖了顶尖的 F1 车队，甚至包括欧洲 X-Mars 号飞船。We know that UFI Group actually has a very rich history dating back to 1971. You are the founder of the group. What inspired you to start the company?
It's a long story for me, and I started my experience in '82. A first delegation of China coming in Italy, and I know that it's going in Fiat, and then in Fiat Trattori, tractor, and he visited because he wanted that Fiat to invest in China. And so I joined this delegation, and then I am a driver of this delegation. But unfortunately, Mr. Agnelli say there is no street, it's not possible to invest. And the tractors say, but it's not possible to produce. And the chief of this delegation have a confidence with me and try to support me and say, I want a factory of filter in China. It's the government want in bamboo. And so we say, okay, we are able to create a factory for you, a turnkey factory. And we are able to give to you like important investment, the first investment in China for filter. So we say, okay, we are able to give our know-how, our experience, our equipment, and on the other side, license agreement for 5 years. And so we invest the first plant for China, the first oil filter for China. And we started from this time. Then the government requests us many plants. And we give our technology to the government, and we create 7 plants in all China, in Changchun, in Chongqing, in Beijing, in Xinjiang, in Shanghai, and starting our story is still in '92. In '92, we make a joint venture for hydraulic, because our company don't have only the filtration for car, but we have many sectors. And in the sector, hydraulic, and also moto, and also tractor, and also truck. And on the other side, we produce also for bulldozer and for excavator. All the range of what we move in the world. We have diesel, oil, air, cabin air, blue by, especially to stop the gas for the ecology and the CO2. This is our job now. But at this moment, it's very difficult to enter in China. And so in '95, '96, we decided to open a plant. Before, it's impossible to invest in China because it's not impossible, but you are obliged to make a joint venture 50-50. And you are not allowed to be alone. But there is a law in May, starting 1st May, for created a new plant 100%. The day 1 of May, at 8 o'clock, we present our request for stay in this country. And we start near Qingpu, 30 kilometers of the center of Shanghai, because at the moment it's not so populated like now. And we started there with 100 workers. At this time, when I buy the company, is 81. I am 26 years old.
26 years old. Wow.
And when I am 27, I coming in China due to the opportunity. And then, remember China for me, it's a million of bicycle. Fantastic experience. 33 hours to go from Shanghai to Beijing.
That's long time.
Now in 3 hours you go. So, but I try to understand from the operosity, from the clever mind of the Chinese, what is the future? And I understand that China in little time became more and more important. I study all the story because the man that is with me, he say, oh, China have 5,000 years. Okay, read this book, and I am obliged to take all the story of China.
Okay.
And to remember all this. But for these things, it's very important to study Sun Tzu, to study the Three Kingdoms, to study the different dynasty, and to study what is your mentality. Because if you don't know the mentality of one country, you are not able to penetrate one country. Here is very difficult. Your mentality is different, your ability is different, but you have a minimum 5,000 to 3,000 years of story economical, and you are the best for technology, for biotech, for artificial intelligence, for car. Yesterday I see some model incredible. The most important that I see, I think every week you have a new model.
Yeah.
And this is an incredible thing. So from this story, in the 96, we started with the first plant. And now, after we invest in Chongqing, we invest in Chengdu, we invest with a new plant in Shanghai, with another plant in Shanghai. We have another company in Shanghai. We have UFI Hydraulic. This is in Xinjiang, the best plant that we create in this moment. All the technology we have, not only for filtration, because we have from the air cabin filtration to the other filtration, and we produce the media here. Here, the media, because we have about 170 media different. We are the first that introduce in the world the new media instead of cellulose, instead of the paper. And now, with this media, we are able to customize for every company, for the original equipment. We have all the original equipment. We work with everybody because we're starting like first. And so, original equipment, we are the real supplier of original equipment. Like in the aftermarket, because in aftermarket we have two brands. The first is Sofima, and then we have the brand of UFI. UFI, especially for all the international range. And we are very happy about this. Then UFI in the world tried to develop. Also in India. In India, we founded India, and now we have 3 plants in India. Then we founded Korea. And in Korea now we have 2 plants in Korea. And then we develop Poland, we develop Czechia, we develop Tunisia with a new plant in every country of this. Then Mexico, then on the other side America and Brazil. So we try to occupy, and then this is the 22 plants that we open in the world. 22 plants where you can find all the type of technology. The media, the thermal management. And what is the thermal management? Thermal management is the most important thing in the car, because the car has the battery. But if you don't control the temperature of the battery, you have a problem of the time. On the other side, you have, is the system more important because the heating also in the cabin. And China now, the 50% of the production is like an electrical car. And I see fantastic model. better than Tesla, better than the other. Some car for 25,000, for 20,000, for 15,000, perfectly. So I think in the future of the electric in China, because there is a different things. The city is like this and the car is like this, and you have a train 500 kilometers per hour. So you are the most advanced country in the world in this moment.
Thank you for saying that. I'm just very curious when you tell this story about the development. Have you ever imagined that someday UFI Group becomes such a big international company globally when you started? And you also impressed me very most is that during your address on the opening ceremony, you mentioned you are 一半一半.
I am 一半一半. In the past time, I had the honor that Shanghai gave me the citizenship, honorary citizenship. Imagine 42 years in China, and with my men that follow us, that follow my vision, I am really able to build China. And so I have a dream. Every time that I go in the aircraft, I see Asia, and they say 2/3 of the population is in Asia. I am obliged to be in Asia. And I think China is really the heart of the world, because it's able to produce, and also it controls all the raw material in the world. So these two advantages give the future of China better. And we are obliged to be more joint with Europe, especially with Italy. Our country is very important for the control of Mediterranean. Our country is very important for the history. If you think Matteo Ricci is the first coming from the Christian Catholic religion, then arrived Marco Polo. Marco Polo arrived to Kublai Khan, and then is able to export the silk and everything to Italy, and to start in the first trading with Italy. So for our government, it's really important to be more time in China to try to increase the relation with the Chinese government, independent of USA. China and Italy is very similar. You are the first in all the invention. You have the first to have La Polvere di Sparrow. Then Italy, on the other side, have the best story. For example, from Archimede, Pythagoras, Leonardo da Vinci, Galileo, Fermi. So the creativity of China is like the creativity of Italy. And we are obliged to join this community.
Yeah. Warm welcome to China.
Thank you very much.
When we talk about the automotive industry, so can you give us a brief introduction about your core business in automotive sector and what's your focus right now?
Okay, we started for filtration. We started with innovation in the panel filter, very simple. In 71, our company started with this type, and nobody is able because we have a patent for this. Then we start with the other kind of filters, the oil filter, the diesel filter, and then all the sector, from the motor to the truck to everything. Then we tried to enter in Formula One.
Formula One.
In 76, I entered in Ferrari. I am a youngest boy.
Oh, wow.
And the Ferrari gave me really the capability to try to enter and to win with Ferrari.
Yeah.
Then we have the second, McLaren. Then we have the third. The name is not Red Bull, but it's different. Mercedes, Haas, to reach now Alfa Romeo. So now we have 9 teams, and the next is Renault. So we have 10 teams that go around in a circuit every Grand Prix. 14 filters every car. So it means that 140 filters turn around in the Grand Prix. There's a big satisfaction that we have. So it means we want the difficult technology. We want every time to try to have the difficult problem and to try filtration for this. But after the filtration, I believe, when starting the electric car, is the most difficult thing, the thermal management. And the thermal management in this moment gives the possibility to the battery to have a long life.
Yeah.
And we believe that this is the most important argument. And also in the suspension and the hydraulic system for the wheel, because you can find now there is also the motor inside, in the axle, and we won't develop also for the electric car. But my vision is the future. And in the future, I think electric is one part of the market, but also hydrogen is very important. So we work very hard in the last 7 years for hydrogen. Hydrogen, for me, represents the perfect cleaning. So we start now in Italy, and we have the open ceremony, I think, in September of the new plant. In the new plant, we produce a membrane, the filter. It's a cathodic kinetic filter, very difficult, the most difficult things in my way. Because from the water, to pass through this filter, we are able to produce hydrogen. And from the hydrogen, we go in the fuel cell, and we are able to produce electricity in all the truck, in all the car also, because now Ferrari start with the same system in hydrogen. So the future also in Toyota is hydrogen car. So we will see the future, and every time that we see the future, we try the first in innovation, they try it in research. Our company invests on 600 million of turnover, the 5% in research. This is our strong way. Our company invests in media. Our company invests in the most difficult things to tailor for all the original equipment what the original equipment want.
Yeah. It sounds that the DNA of UFI is to overcome the most difficult thing or technology in the field.
SDNA.
That's the DNA. So you put a lot of resources on R&D?
Our DNA is research. I want to really focus on the future every time. It's not easy to understand what we are obliged to do, but our DNA gives the possibility to explore all the sector and to understand where it's possible to invest. But if you reach a right direction, you are really able to win. So many times we take a right direction. In the future, we think that the right direction is a e-fuel. E-fuel is 80% of hydrogen and 20% of CO2.
Okay.
And we believe in this for the new vehicle, for all the car. So maybe you starting with hybrid car, there is part of electric and part of hydrogen or e-fuel on the other side. This is my vision.
Okay. I remember that on the first floor, Simone gave us an introduction. One key point of the UFI is that almost every year, you will launch a new technology or innovation or products. How can you achieve that?
Well, thank you for the question. UFI Filters is investing on yearly basis around 5% in the research and development of his annual sales revenue. So, as our chairman Girondi said, we very much value the research and development. That's why we have on global base 3 big R&D and laboratory centers worldwide, one in Italy in our group headquarters, one in India, and one here in Shanghai in China, that allowed us to develop and to propose to the market new customized solutions based on the different customer needs. Innovation is the real key of our success. I do believe that in our history there are a lot of examples of company technological innovation since the real beginning. So you have seen in our timeline in 1972 when UFI started its history, UFI were the first one to develop air engine panel filter. There are many other examples of successful products. I would like to remind the famous H2O diesel filter, which has been developed for Fiat Group. It was reaching at the time 95% of the water separation capability, especially using deep filtration media, which is a UFI product made for common rail solution. Common rail at the time was a brand new technology that make a revolution of diesel engine, allow the diesel engine to have better performance and less emission. I also need to remind that UFI was one of the first to produce oil filter with synthetic fiber, which was another big innovation. I would like to remind to everyone the breakthrough of multi-tube. Multi-tube is a revolutionary air filter engine that allowed more power to the engine, and this is using even less volume thanks to the better fluid dynamics. And then all the recent investment and research that we are doing on thermal management. We start from e-axle cooler and e-axle modules, which has been already successfully applied on heavy-duty application. We already received a lot of appreciation from our customer. And then filtration. For filtration, we propose to the market new solution like the carbon HEPA filters, which has been applied by top brand electrical brands with exceptional gas absorption capabilities. We also launched on the aftermarket UFI Filters Argentium and Sofima Defend, which has antibacterial and antiviral power. And then all the thermal management solution for battery thermal management products. So those are specially made for battery new energy vehicle, and those are the products that are key to keep the battery in the perfect range of temperature. So we have a history of innovation.
Yeah, and we also notice that more and more companies put their sustainability on a very high positioning. How UFI adopt the sustainability into your daily operation and innovation?
Well, first of all, our filtration and thermal management products are driving towards carbon neutrality and better sustainable environment. So let's thinking about our air filters. Air filters has been designed by us as a solution for air purification, right? Additionally, I will remind that in 2022, for the first time, our group was finally published its first sustainability report related to the 2021 group activities to stress the commitment that UFI Group is doing to support environment sustainability. We do that not only on product level, but also involving all our supply chain on this effort. And on top of that, regarding the design and manufacturing processes, UFI is also extremely focused on sustainable materials and to select the most environmental friendly processes. Then finally, so we are here in our new plant, UFI GREEN. UFI GREEN has been studied in order to minimize the emission and to minimize the consumption, power consumption. For example, in our roof, we will have photovoltaic panels which are covering 15,000 square meters for roughly 1 million of kilowatt per hour of power production. So that's our effort on this direction. On top of that, all our processes as VOC system, we are fully compliant with the emission regulation. So this is another demonstration of our focus in this direction. On group level, we have a continuous improvement working activity that's studying emission of the reduction of the emission of greenhouses and the energy consumption reduction. On group level, we are also very actively engaged in managing waste generated during our operation through recycling. So this approach has obviously a lot of benefit. I can tell you we moved from a recycled waste of 67% in 2021 to more than 75% in 2023.
Okay. Last year, UFI Group announced a lot of partnership. For example, the Formula One, I think 9 teams of the
Yes.
Formula One, and many OEMs, for example, the NIO, Lamborghini, Renault, Chang'an, Depot. Why they choose UFI Group?
That's a very interesting question. So, you know, UFI count on more than 50 years of experience in filtration industry. We have a very strong expertise in the development and in the in-house production of key components and material. Indeed, since early 90s, we have been one of the few filtration company which are producing internally the filtration media. This is a point that has been reminded by our chairman as well. Since 2010, we have been one of the first starting the production of heat exchanger here in China with vacuum brazing technologies. Nowadays, we are one of the few companies which are combining heat exchanger and thermal management capabilities with filtration capabilities. This has been successfully applied on e-axle thermal management, for instance. And from their point, we also move to the establishment of a new business unit, the thermal management business unit, that was moving on to be focused on battery thermal management solution. Now, and this is a vision of our chairman Girondi, we also believe in hydrogen as a future without emission into the atmosphere. So we are working very hard to produce this technology, not only in filtration, but also in the famous MEA, the membrane electrode assembly. In filtration, for example, our cathode air filter has already applied to Chang'an, as you mentioned, but even to Hyundai. And soon our technology will be available also for commercial vehicles. In other words, we keep innovating ourselves.
No, it's the real concept, because when we start from the oil cooling system, at the end we discover the possibility to make the thermal management. So in this moment we make all the other part, and we make all the total management of battery, and we create the water cooler, we create the condenser, we create the chiller. So our effort is very strong in the electrical vehicle.
Yeah.
And like electrical vehicle in another sector, we think the energy of the vehicle and of the car in the future is different technology, from one for hydrogen, one for electrical, maybe for the full, maybe for different energy. Also the GPL, also other kind of gas. And this is important for our research. Try to understand before than the industry start of the original equipment. And we are really appreciate for the companies that want to invest. For the companies that want to see the future, we are near.
You mentioned now we are existing in a multiple powertrain era. We see the ICV, PHEV, BEV, as well as fuel cell EV. So what kind of differences in the filtration system or the thermal management?
Yeah, that's another interesting question. Well, in terms of differences, we have different products based on our two main divisions. Regarding filtration, our traditional products for internal combustion engine, which has been also applied on hybrid vehicles, passenger and heavy duty. Our filtration system are including mainly the filters of fuel filters, gasoline, diesel, CNG, LPG, cabin filter, and engine air filter, and then of course oil engine, transmission, oil and blow-by filters and so on. BEVs, battery energy vehicles, rely entirely on the battery packs to drive electric motors, so their filtration system is quite different. On top of e-axle and e-motor filtration system that I was mentioning before, our main focus now is on HEPA and carbon filter, thanks to the development of our own media, which allow to provide the best experience into the cabin to the final user of truck or cars. For fuel cell, well, we are developed thanks to our gas absorption media, our cathode air filters and ion exchanger. Those are products extremely important to avoid the pollution into the fuel cell system. Additionally, the new board, UFI Hydrogen, is working on strategic components for the production of PEM membrane, the membrane electrode assembly, which allowed the chemical reaction through hydrogen. Regarding thermal management, well, we start our history in thermal management for internal combustion engine. We were producing oil cooler and transmission oil cooler for traditional application. Then we move our knowledge and we adapt our products to hybrid and to battery new energy vehicles, offering a new solution for e-axle, for e-motor, and finally for BPMS, including, as Girondi said, battery chillers, liquid cool condenser, coolant battery heaters, internal heat exchangers, so many different products that at the end has one key, extremely important function, which is to maintain in the best range condition the temperature of the battery. This is key to maintain also, to reduce the consumption of the battery and allow longer range of the car. So those are our focus. At the same time, we are a system integrator provider, so we like to integrate solutions like modules for e-drive, for e-axle, for transmission, and battery thermal management modules, which are combining these components together with others like valves, like pressure sensor, temperature sensor, and are adding value to our final customers.
So you're already ready for each segment, either
Correct.
in the technology and the products.
Definitely, we are ready for different technology, different products. Of course, our history starts from traditional application, but I would say that we were extremely fast and successful to turn and to use our knowledge and our ability in the new segment.
Yeah. In China, of course, the electrification develops very fast, especially in recent years. But we also notice that in some areas outside China, the slowdown of electrification already happens. What's your perspective on this phenomenon? Will that change your strategy of the company?
Yeah, battery energy vehicle has developed with an impressive speed starting from 2014 around. Now is accounting about 15% of the share of the global production worldwide. So according to the data we have, the light vehicle BEV market, we reach 18 million of vehicles in 2025, and those will account for around 20% of share. In this overview, obviously, China plays the most important role because it's the new technology driver, then followed by other regions. Fortunately, we are here. We are in the first line. We supply the most important manufacturer with our products, and we develop new ones basically every time locally. We have very important customers like BYD, Chery, Geely, Chang'an. But let's also not forget in heavy duty, we are extremely successful. We have a partnership with Weichai, but also with Iveco, or with system integrator like Bosch. And this allowed us to follow them with different type of solution in different sector. Of course, we were expecting somehow a slowdown of the growing curve of BEV market, especially in the regions that the region where the infrastructure are not ready and consumers still prefer traditional solution. We keep offering our best solution also for those markets, so no problem for us. We believe that battery powered cars anyway will grow fast, and on top of that we even investing in, as I mentioned before, to hydrogen, because anyway the battery powered car cannot cover completely the entire vehicle demand due to the unavailability of energy infrastructure and the keep using of fossil fuels. So hydrogen should be another future goal for a clean world. So that's why last year we have been established a new company, UFI Hydrogen, that has his main target dedicated on R&D, industrialization, marketing, and let's say studying of solution components for fuel cell and water electrolyzers.
When we talk about the automotive supply chain, cost is very important.
Definitely.
Especially this year in China, we see the fierce competition in the end market. So how UFI Group keep a balance between the cost and the quality?
Well, we are a product-driven company, so we are designing and developing customized solutions. So we work for and with our customer without compromising on quality. But by the way, high quality doesn't mean expensive solution, right? So thanks to our extensive product portfolio, and we adapt a modular design concept to reduce the development time and the development cost. Additionally, especially here in China, we are a manufacturing vertical integrated. So we have very important in-house process technologies. For instance, we have a die casting production with aluminum. We have technology like vacuum brazing, deep metal stamping, plastic injection, CNC machining, infrared welding, laser cutting, many. So this allowed us to have a very deep knowledge of many components. I like to mention, by the way, in terms of filtration, we are the expert of media. As Girondi said, we have in our portfolio more than 170 different type of media that has been developed for different applications. So our internal capabilities allowed us to be fast, competitive, but this is not only for what we produce inside, but also for what we outsource, because knowing the process, because being the expert of the process, we know also what is their value. The opening of this factory here in Jiaxing is today also part of this continuous improvement activity, because by expanding our production capability, we are introducing the most advanced production and validation equipment to maintain our cost advantages, ensuring our excellence quality, I would say UFI quality.
How's your business in China, and also are you satisfied with your business in China?
We're really satisfied about our business in China, because from the starting of 2020 coming to now, we increased 40% of our sales. So it's not easy every time to develop 10% or more than 10% every year. Mm-hmm. And we will see a beautiful development of the EV car. With the electrical car, we follow all the thermal management system, and we think in the future we develop more and more, due to the fact that we innovate every time, and we want to produce also some other system, and we have also some other patent. The last patent that we created in UFI the last week, because we are so speedy, is to reutilize CO2 inside of the system. And this is a very incredible patent that we have.
Okay. Will you have similar headache to make a choice between the market share or the benefits here?
Every time we invest. And you know that where you invest, you don't think into the immediate profit. You think to long-term profit.
Long-term.
Company normally invest for the next 10 years. And, you know, it's not question of immediately money. The question is to have the goodwill in a company, the know-how, the future market. And this is very important for us. We're never thinking, okay, we have a profitability, but we are a company, and every time we're thinking in the long term.
Yeah. Actually, UFI entered China market for a long time, very early stage. What's your future strategy for China market? Let's say in future 5 years, what's your strategy in China?
In 2001, I am invited here to make a speech, and there is a German economist that is speaking, and after I speak, and I say, different from all the other, in the next 20 years, China is able to reach the peak of America, and it's near now. But in reality, China is able. I know the speed of China, and I know that China have the money, the enterprise of China have the money. So the capacity and the operability of China gives the possibility to be more important in the technological market. So this country is more advanced in the next 5 years. But this is, I don't know, depend also from the duty of the other country. I think Europe is not able to accept the duty. I hope that there is a good relation with Europe. I hope that there is also your technology arrive. Because for me, in this moment, the real technology of China. China is the owner of the best technology in the world in this moment, and in the future you have more and more know-how. If we lose China, we are not able to have the future technology. So it's important the cooperation between China and Italy. And in the sector that I say before, artificial intelligence, biotech, pharmaceutical, 80% of the sector you are now number one. Also in finance. And if the world understands your capacity of innovation, I am sure that the world try to work also with China. And we follow you.
Also notice that the competition in the market is fierce. So how to maintain the leading position?
Well, Chinese market is moving very fast, rapidly, and with very strong competition, as you said. So we must be extremely fast, quick, adapt to the local market trend, be able to be creative, flexible in serving customer needs with high standard of excellence. We have gained most of the local customers, so in automotive and in heavy duty sectors. So beside our historical customer, global customer joint venture, in comparison to other markets, Chinese speed is impressive. For instance, if you look on a new car model development time to market in China, it's between 12-18 months. In Americas, in Europe, still above 30 months. So this creates a critical issue on R&D products development and supply chain. And this somehow become a natural barrier to newcomers to this market. So from our perspective, quality and development speed are together the most critical factors.
So Actually, we are in the Jiaxing factory. Congratulations, because it's the opening ceremony.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why you pick Jiaxing as the new plant address?
Well, we picked Jiaxing as a new plant address because Jiaxing, Suzhou Jiaxing, it's somehow in the core of Yangtze River Delta area, very convenient, very close to Shanghai, close to the port, to the airport, and somehow in the geometrical center between Shanghai, Hangzhou, Suzhou, close to Ningbo, where many customers are located, where we can find many partners, suppliers for our materials, components, and where we believe there is important development for the future. Then obviously we cannot forget the fact that, by the way, Jiaxing is extremely close and convenient to our Asia Pacific headquarters, which is based in Shanghai, Hongqiao, between Hongqiao and Chengdu.
Yeah.
We decided to invest here in Jiaxing 45 million euro and 40,000 square meters for the first phase. And here arrive 650 people. Mm-hmm. And for the most cleaning plant that we have in the world. So I think this is a big investment for our company. We are in negotiation with Jiaxing for the future exponential development of this company. Mm-hmm. And we believe in Jiaxing because Jiaxing gives us a big support. Very, very good relation. People say, okay, we build, we make, we do. And in 2 years, we develop this plant, this new plant, I am very proud of my man that helped us and is able really to realize a beautiful plant.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I think it's fantastic here. In the year of 2000, UFI established the R&D center in Shanghai. What's the major function of that center, and what kind of achievements it has made during these years?
It's really interesting because in the same time that I create the research center in Italy, I create also in China, because I believe also China is very important. And in this center, we are really able to put all our machine to test and to control. For example, pressure pulse fake test, then internal corrosion test, then thermal cycle test, vibration test, and sustain all the solution for the product for Asia Pacific. We became a leader after in the E-axle thermal management, so we are obliged to put all the tests also for this kind of new technologies that we try to defend for battery thermal management. The new lab in Jiaxing state of art gas absorption test bench and media air permeability, because we to test 6 different contaminant gas which appears on vehicle cabin. Home appliance, that is the new sector where we try to enter, a new hypothetical future for our company, because we have the capacity to make a new media.
Yeah.
Industrial purification application also. And my dream is also thinking to the water. Water is a big trouble in the world. And if I come to the solution of new technology for filtration of the water and for many ideas that I am not sure now. I won't realize. When I realize, I come to you and we make a new interview.
Looking forward. Yeah, looking forward. As for the automotive industry, we see that China is become the leading position in the EV industry development. So how about the further innovation in the R&D center in China? Looking towards the future, what's the key goal of UFI Group, especially in China?
Yeah, over the years, the group has been committed to innovation, as we mentioned several times. So we introduced new products, new technologies. I like to remind once again multi-tube because it's a revolutionary product that has been also chosen by FAW Hongqi to be installed on L1 car. So for filtration, we are working for new medias. And for new media recipe, not only for automotive, as Girondi said, but also for industrial and for home appliance application. While in heavy duty, we are working for integrated system that could make together filtration and cooling system for the axle, but also for new solution. We are also working for hydrogen internal combustion engine technologies, which is another direction of development. And our battery thermal management integrated solution will be possibly applied not only for passenger vehicle, for truck and heavy duty solution, but also for industrial solution, for energy storage, for data center applications. So we believe that there will be the possibility to expand ourselves out of automotive as well. Today, with the official opening of UFI GREEN here in Jiaxing, this is a confirmation of UFI Group confidence and the long-term commitment to the Chinese market and to the global market.
Okay.
In the filtration, what is our strong force is the media. Because I want to join also another company that we have. Mm-hmm. In London, we are a shareholder of Porvair. Porvair is listening in London, and we are the majority relative shareholder in this company. We have this company to develop in China for metal filtration. And we are in the aerospace with this company. In aerospace also UFI with Augusta, with Westland for the helicopter, but also in aerospace in England. And we have also pharmaceutical laboratory and also water. Mm-hmm. And we are really happy that our media is a difference. Because if you study the earth, that is a media, you are able to go in all the sector. And this is what our company had, like idea of innovation every time.
Okay. And I know that every time you visit China, actually you will visit your customer.
Yeah. For me, every time it's important to go to the customer. In the customer, but not only to the general manager or the managing director, no, I go to the research center because I can find what is the new idea of the research center of the factory. So, for example, I go in Weichai the Thursday, and I go to speak with the chief of the research center because I want to understand what is needed, what is the progress, what is the process of the future, and what he needs for develop also better the motor of Weichai. Mm-hmm. He needs hydrogen, he needs gas, what kind of filtration. Every time I go to my research center, every time I want to see what is the future of to be and to supply what he needs. Because the customer is the first things. Every time we are obliged to give what the customer is thinking and work with the best engineer to create a new patent. This is my work sometimes.
So you can get the first-hand information, thinking in advance to do the technology innovation.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so that's all the questions for our interview. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. And also congratulations on the open ceremony.
Thank you very much. For us, every time I say one word, when we turn up, we won't see the future.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.